Shark Media.
From Washington, D.C., where, oh my God, are we really talking about Hillary again? Really? This is Ballot.
That's right. We've got some surprising poll numbers. Tyler Perry's weighing in, and even the late night guys showed up for work. Let's hit this. All right, folks, gather around for the latest episode of Who Wants to Be the Next Democratic Presidential Candidate? Spoiler alert, the lineup is more unpredictable than a cat on a Roomba. So, the new poll's in. And if Biden decides he's had enough of the presidential rodeo, it looks like we've got a real barn burner on our hands. Gavin Newsom, California's very own Ken doll, is trailing Trump by a smidge 37% to 40%. And Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, is barely ahead of the "why are we doing this again" stage at 36% to Trump's 40%. Clearly, someone needs to remind these governors that America loves a good comeback story, not just a decent haircut and a solid pandemic response. Now, this survey of 1,000 likely voters has a margin of error of plus or minus 3.1%. So basically, take all these numbers with a grain of salt the size of Trump's ego. Conducted via phone and email from July 2nd to July 6th. This poll is hotter off the press than Biden's last debate performance, which, let's be honest, was a bigger disaster than a Michael Bay movie marathon. Anthony Williams, the special projects director at Ben Dixon and Amandi, chimed in with some deep political wisdom. He said that voters want someone in the mold of Clinton. No, not George Clinton, although Parliament Funkadelic would definitely bring the funk to the White House. Williams argues that voters crave sophistication and experience, something to lull them into a false sense of security amidst the global chaos. Because who doesn't want to sleep better at night, knowing our president can handle international diplomacy and not just another scandalous tweet? In the hypothetical matchup of dream teams we didn't know we needed, a ticket with Harris and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro squeaks by Trump 42% to 40%. Yet, pair Harris with Whitmer, and it's a different story. They fall behind Trump 39% to 41%. Clearly, Whitmer needs to work on her debate zingers, or perhaps invest in a more charismatic running mate. Now, Hillary Clinton, the woman who just won't quit, except she totally did, at 76, is still younger than both Trump and Biden. She's vowed not to run again, sticking to her post-debate support for Biden. Meanwhile, Shapiro, 51, fresh off his attorney general gig and now running Pennsylvania, is already making waves. Newsom and Whitmer, in their final terms, are out there fundraising and stumping for Biden like their political futures depend on it, because they do. Grab your popcorn because the Republican National Convention is about to kick off next week in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and the suspense is higher than Hunter Biden's laptop repair bill. With the event less than a week away, the big question on everyone's mind is, who will former President Trump pick as his running mate? Will it be a political veteran, a fresh face, or maybe even the MyPillow guy? In true Trump fashion, he's keeping us all on the edge of our seats. During an appearance on Fox News' Hannity, he teased the possibility of announcing his VP pick during the convention. "I'd love to do it during the convention," he said, making us all wonder if there's going to be a dramatic rose ceremony on the convention stage. However, Trump added that "my people say that's a little complicated." Oh, you mean like the last 4 years? Or like explaining quantum physics to a toddler? So, we might get the big reveal a little before the convention, or maybe even during, because, let's face it, nothing says keeping your options open like deciding your running mate in the middle of a major political event. Fox News host Sean Hannity, ever the helpful sidekick, tossed out some names that are rumored to be on Trump's shortlist: Marco Rubio of Florida, J.D. Vance of Ohio, Tim Scott of South Carolina, and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. Trump, in his classic style, confirmed they're in the mix, saying, "The names that you mentioned? Absolutely, they're under consideration." Personally, I am looking at the comedy aspect of all this and rooting for Dakota Doug. I think the little Marco stuff is played out. Trump didn't stop there, folks. He boasted about the great bench in the Republican Party, which, considering the last few seasons, might be more like a bench that could use a few new cushions. "I haven't made a final decision, but I have some ideas as to where we're going," he emphasized, leaving us all wondering if he'll pull a plot twist worthy of a reality TV show finale. Hey, it was nice of the late-night host to show up for work 10 days after Biden's disastrous debate. Stephen Colbert said, "I don't know what's going on in Joe Biden's mind. Something I apparently have in common with Joe Biden." Colbert also commented on Joe's new schedule. So the state dinners are all going to be early bird specials? Also, which 8 p.m., sir? East Coast, West Coast, Moscow? The world does not stop at 8 p.m. Is Kamala Harris going to have to clock in as night president? Well, Stephen, maybe Joe should take 10 days off around July 4th. Just saying. Jon Stewart also finally decided the election was important and came back from the beach. And boy, did he have a field day with President Biden's recent blunders? For a campaign based on honesty and decency, the spin about the debate appears to be blatant bullshit, Stewart said. And the redemption tour hasn't gone that much better. He then played clips of Biden's team scrambling to cover for the president's shaky debate performance, like a kid who forgot their homework and blamed the dog. Remember that debunked jet lag excuse from a trip taken 2 weeks prior? Classic. Stewart wasn't buying it. We're told that the threat of Trump is so great and the stakes are so high that even bringing up these absolutely legitimate concerns about the president's ability to do the most vigorous job in the world for the next 4 years is enabling fascism, he said. Yet even the president doesn't seem particularly alarmed. Cue the clip of ABC's George Stephanopoulos asking Biden how he'll feel if he loses to Trump in November. Biden's response? "As long as I gave it my all and did as good of a job as I know I can do, that's what this is about." "That's not what this is about!" Stewart roared. "There are no participation trophies in endgame democracy." Stewart pointed out that some Biden supporters say everyone will rally behind him because millions voted for him in the primary. But as Stewart noted, that was before the debate exposed Biden's health concerns more starkly. "Authoritarianism and Donald Trump aren't the only threats our democracy faces," he said. "An arthritic status quo, unable or unwilling to respond to voter concerns, also erodes confidence and faith in the system of government. Honestly, get on board or shut up is not a particularly compelling pro-democracy bumper sticker." Jimmy Fallon provided his usual sharp commentary, saying that the Democrats' plan to remove Biden from the race will eventually become to tie a bunch of balloons to the White House and hope he floats away like that old guy from Up. Oh, pretty edgy commentary there, Jim. Take it easy. Even Tyler Perry weighed in. When asked by The Hollywood Reporter if he's backing Biden in 2024, Perry dodged like a pro. "What's important to me is that America remains a democracy free from anyone trying to be a dictator or king, so I'm supporting anyone who stands against that." Translation: I'll back anyone who's not plotting to overthrow the government. Not that there are any candidates who would want to overthrow the government on a cold day in January. Classic Hollywood. Perry, who supported Biden-Harris in 2020, is playing it safe this time around, just as other Hollywood big shots like Reed Hastings and Abigail Disney are urging Biden to sit this one out. Rob Reiner even did a flip-flop on Twitter about it. But Perry's sticking to the Democrats' script that Trump wants to be a dictator. At the premiere, Perry shifted gears to discuss his film's deeper meaning. Letting things go and not trying to hold on to, loving someone into a place they can't go to, is so important. Well, another day went by, and I still don't have room in the show to tell you about the candidate who may or may not have eaten a dog. Portions of today's program were created with the help of AI. Even the AI wouldn't make up that story. For an ad-free experience, check out the show notes. Calaroga.com/plus. See you tomorrow.